Hey guys, so I'm so excited to make this video for you today because I'm so proud of myself because I hosted my first dinner last weekend and I had 17 people over to my boyfriend's house. 17 of my friends, we gathered around the table and I served them a traditional Shabbat dinner, which was like a French Moroccan style. Like, it's so much fun. Have you ever been to Shabbat dinner? It's lit. And I realized that in the salads, which is the part of the meal, which is the salatines, the appetizers, I made them all the day ahead in advance. And then I started thinking, I'm like, you can really add these salads to just about any dish, any time of the day. And you can meal prep with these and make a huge batch and then just have it whenever you want. Let's get right into the video. I'm so excited to share these with you. I have a traditional Israeli salad. The second one is a baba ganoush, which I honestly didn't have a recipe for this one. I just wung it. I definitely should have made a lot more. Everybody loved it. I made a homemade hummus, which I'd never done before. I had some technical difficulties when I was making this. It ended up tasting really good also, by the way. And then another recipe was traditional Moroccan carrots. I decided to roast some beets. I will also leave the recipes in the description box so that you can refer back to them and also ask me any questions. Let's get right into it.
Okay, so the first recipe is an Israeli salad, which consists of tomato and cucumber as the base. So I start off by dicing up the cucumber and the tomato and try and get all of the slices and pieces into even sizes. The best thing about this salad is that you can keep it in the fridge all week and it still stays really fresh. It's low calorie, low carb, just vegetables. I put on a heavy pinch of salt with some fresh cracked pepper, olive oil, cumin, a lot of cumin, lemon juice, and that is pretty much it. I think I threw some parsley in there, maybe not. But then you just give it a stir. I like to just put it in this container here with the lid on it and then give it a good shake and get all those flavors marinated in with the vegetables, and it is ready to serve. The next recipe is the baba ganoush. So I decided to roast my eggplant. You really don't have to roast it. I think it just gives it a different flavor, but you can also boil it or you can steam it. But I just cut them in half, salt, olive oil, and then I keep them in the oven for a pretty long time, actually, kind of like an hour. So it's one of those things that you just throw in there while you're cooking everything else. And it's easy to do. So the day before, I actually made this eggplant and I kept it in the fridge like this. And then the next day, when it was cold in the fridge, I went ahead and started preparing for the salad. Paprika, salt, pepper, and then a lot of tahini. You can also use mayonnaise here, but I wanted to keep this vegan for my friends who were joining me for dinner. And yeah, some salt, give it a good stir, and then really the best way to know if it's good or not is just a taste test. I forgot to add some lemon juice, so throw some of that in there and give it another stir. The next recipe is my hummus, which I really just tried to go as traditional as possible. I really didn't want to mess it up. So once you use your can of chickpeas, I used 2 cans here. I put them into the food processor after I rinsed them. Salt, pepper, paprika, and tahini, a lot of tahini. I might have used too much. Then a clove of garlic. And this was a super unfortunate moment for me. No. I realized that it was broken. So I put it in the blender and I had to work with it. It took me a lot longer than necessary, but I ended up making hummus for the first time. Topped it with paprika and olive oil. The next recipe is Moroccan carrots. So you start by slicing the carrots, rinsing the carrots. You have to peel them and then add them to a pot of boiling water. and after the water is boiling, the carrots are soft. It should take like 30 minutes or so, maybe less. And then you just strain them out, and this is what they look like. So beautiful. You can actually just eat them raw like this, and they're pretty delicious. The spice that is predominantly used in Israeli food is cumin, and it is my new favorite spice. I use it in just about everything now. And these carrots, you just give them a toss with the cumin and olive oil and salt, pepper. Also threw in some parsley. All of these things are optional. Like I said, it's really good just plain, but you can serve it hot or cold, whatever you prefer. We're just gonna get right into the beet salad now. I like to roast the beets. You can, again, boil the beets or do whatever. You can prepare it the same way you did the carrots or the same way you did the eggplant. It really doesn't matter. All you need is it to just be soft. So I decided to bake this just because each side could get like a crispy burnt edge, which gives it a nice flavor. So I peeled them, I cut them. If you boil it, it's a lot easier because you can just put it in whole, and then the skin just kind of pulls off instead of having to peel it, which saves a lot of time. But I decided to do it this way, make my life a little bit more challenging, I suppose. Added some lemon juice, salt, pepper, and olive oil, the same as I did with everything else. Give it a good stir around in the tin, and then I really just lay them down flat and then throw them in the oven. The recipes will be down below, like I said. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope you have a beautiful day.